All right, so over the next couple of weeks, we are going to record some chorales. I think I've got the numbers right on them this time. Number 5, Tallis Canon, is what we're doing this week. And you're going to want to go into Soundtrap for this. Next week, we're going to try using the Audacity tool to do it. This week, what we're going to do is use Soundtrap to mix it. Soundtrap has some limitations when you start to get into, 16 or more tracks. It starts to lose a little bit of sound quality, I'm finding. And so if you notice, we've got a little bit more than 16 people in class. So we're pretty much at its limit in being able to mix in here. So when we do bigger sheet music projects, what we're going to do, like the Song for Japan or the pirate piece, we can mix those in smaller groups and then export a sound file, and then we'll mix them in a larger group, mix those groups in a larger group. So in here, what we're going to do for this chorale recording is just like we've already done, is mix it in Soundtrap, but rather than have everybody record into one group collaboration, what we're going to do is have everybody record their own, and then we're going to export that sound file, and then we're going to import it into our full group mix. So if we go into Soundtrap, you're going to want to find the one that says source files. I'm going to invite you to source files, and I'm going to invite you to upload and mix. Note it says read/view the directions. So if you've already found the assignment, you probably read it, and now you're viewing the video of how we want to do it. So do not go in there and start recording in our group collaboration. Don't do that. You're going to go ahead and go in. First off, you will need to go in. You can, if you want to, download these files and then record on another device. Listen to them, see how it goes, and then you'll have to record with a metronome. And then we have to come back and line it up. If you do, for example, if you just download the soprano part and do a play along on it without a metronome, it might be a little bit off one way or another. So you would definitely want to use the metronome on that. The recommended way of doing it is to go ahead and use the Soundtrap studio here and to do it in Soundtrap, but don't do it in our collaboration. What you're going to do is you can either export the files you need and create a new project, or just simply do this. Go into File, Save As, and it will prompt you to save as 05 Tallis source files. Whoops, I don't know what I just did there. Let's try that again. Save as Tallis source files. I'll just say Tallis Oxford. Okay. And now at this point, you should notice that all of your collaborators should have dropped off, and this should only be you in this project. All right, so you have a wave file of the full ensemble of Tallis Canon, and that'll sound like this. There's a soprano part that's a MIDI file. There's an alto part that's a MIDI file. Tenor part that's a MIDI file. Bass part that's a MIDI file. Yeah, so you can actually go ahead and just listen to your own part on it and get it in your ear if you want to. You could actually take these MIDI files, you actually take these MIDI files and let's say you wanted to record the soprano part but have play along on the other parts. Or maybe you wanted to record the soprano, alto, and tenor part but use the bass part off of here. You could do that. You could even go in and change the instrument on it and then have your own recording to share with family or to have for yourself, just as your own project. if you do something like that, if you want to record all the parts, it would be cool if you shared that in class. That'd be really, really cool. Anyway, here we are, and we have the parts, and what you're going to want to do is to turn the metronome on, add a new track, voice a metronome, and use headphones and turn the reverb all the way down. Now, I don't have an instrument handy, and it's kind of late at night right now, so I am not going to play this track. But let's say I did, and now we have a beautiful track here, which you don't see because I didn't record it. Let's record a little bit just for the heck of recording it. So I guess I will have to plug headphones in for this purpose, because I'm going to use my headphones, and I want to hear the background track, and I'm going to record the tenor part, and I don't actually know what that looks like right at the moment. Oh, here it is. I do have the sheet music here. Do you want to know? So I'll listen to the tenor part, and I'll listen to the full group, and I'll listen to the metronome. But I will just record my part. Now remember, put the cursor at the beginning. Also, note that Soundtrap doesn't do pickup beats, so it has to have a full measure at the front, and then the first note starts on count 4. Also, there are fermatas in this one, and so that the Soundtrap comes out with 4 counts. I've just added 4 counts to each of the fermatas. So each fermata is going to be 4 beats of sound and 1 beat of rest afterward to breathe. Okay, so here we go. One, two. Da, 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 da. You might have to turn up your part to do it. Okay, there we go. I got it now. Let's go back to the beginning and try that again. You might have to take multiple takes because I'm just like humming along right now. So I want to turn this one down, maybe turn this one up a little bit. All right. I'm going to just do this so that it goes straight into it. 2, 3. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. And you don't want to hear me sing that whole thing, but that's how you would record it. And let's see how that sounds. I did use headphones. I'm going to want to turn up my part so that I can hear it, and then see how it is, whether it's on the beat or not, or if I have to move it around. And you don't want to hear me sing. Alright, so I can't hear that very well. I gotta turn this stuff down, and then turn this guy way down, and let's see if I can hear myself a little better now. Okay, I can hear that it is a little bit behind there. So you'll have to do that so you can hear yourself. If I were playing a loud instrument, it would be a little bit easier to do this. But it might help to zoom in, and you can see visually that my singing notes are way behind the start point of the other notes. So you'll notice I can't move it to the left at all, right? So I am going to have to split the track in here somewhere. You're going to have to set your purple cursor, and if you do it in the wrong place, you can always undo. Just click the undo or Control Z. Split the region. There we go, and I can delete this up here, or you don't even have to delete that. You can just grab this and move it over until it looks like it is lined up. There we go. That's approximately lined up, and let's listen to it and see if it sounds lined up now. Da, 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 that's great. Okay, so now at this point, you're going to want to give your track a name so that when you export it and import it, Oxford tenor, it will be good. So then let's go ahead and export this track. Hopefully I did turn off the, good, I turned off the reverb. And I am going to need to, let's see here, save and exit the studio. Now I could do all the parts if I want, just for myself. I could do whatever I want with that file. That's my project now. But that track that I just exported, we're going to go back and we are going to upload that to the upload/mix collaboration. Okay, so also for the upload mix, we don't really need these MIDI tracks in here because we're going to upload our parts and then that's going to give us too many tracks. But I will leave one of them in here because it really helps us to see where the beat is and if our parts line up with the beat. So if I had a whole bunch of things, in fact, let's undo that real quick. So that, let's say 3 other people had recorded their parts already there, and I'm importing mine. Add new track, import file. I'm going to do it from, it's from my downloads. Okay, there we go. And remember, I already lined it up in the other recording or in the other project, so it should be lined up here already. But I can, again, I can just kind of zoom in and see, and you can see that it is very lined up with the notes here. So if I move the cursor over to beat 3, it starts right on beat 3 at 2. I'm a little bit late on that one because I think I was looking at my sheet music and trying to figure out which line I was on. But if you want to, if it's a little hard to see, you can always move your part up really high and then compare it to the WAV file or to the MIDI file. And you can put it down low if you want, or somebody else might come and put theirs up high, or you can leave it. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's labeled with your name and which part you have, so that we'll know which parts we have in here. But again, I'm going to go ahead and delete this track, delete this track, delete this track. I'm going to leave that track because it's really easy visual there, and I'm going to delete that track because we don't need that one on there. So it's ready to go, and I'm going to share this one and the other one with the members of class right now, and that's what we do. So you're just going to record your part. Remember on the fermatas to hold them out for 4 counts instead of 1 count, and then put 1 beat of silent breath afterwards.